Welcome to my build review of the Horten Ho-229 from Brengun in 1/44th scale. As you can see, this interesting aircraft is a part of a diorama, together with a Heinkel 162. I already uploaded a detailed video about the Heinkel. A separate video about the diorama creation will follow soon. The assembly of the Horten started with the engine intakes. As you might have guessed, the parts in 1/44th scale are really small, so a lot of precision and patience was needed. For easier handling of the parts, I often use a toothpick with a bit of poster tack on it. Once the sparse cockpit was assembled, I glued together the fuselage and used clothes packs while the glue was drying. The next step were the wings. Dry fitting showed that there were quite large gaps, so I removed some material. Now the fit of the wings was much better, but still not perfect. Therefore I used milliput epoxy to fill those gaps. I said it before, but milliput is my favorite product to fill gaps because it's so easy to remove the excess. The next step was the assembly of the landing gear. Again, it was quite challenging to glue all the tiny parts in place. There isn't any detail in the landing gear base, but I won't complain because the surface detail makes up for that. I continued by brush painting the cockpit. It looked quite dull, so I painted a few dials on the instrument panel. No one will ever see these small details, but hey, at least I know it's there. After priming the Horten with a mix of Mr. Finishing Surfacer and MLT, I masked off the canopy using Tamiya masking tape. I used white glue to mount the clear part because it dries transparent. Then I used M-Mauve Mix RLM82 and started painting. It looks a bit too saturated to me, but at the moment I don't have any other RLM82. When the paint had dried, I used Uhu Patafix poster tack. As you can see, it's a good method to mask off camo patterns like this one. It doesn't leave any sticky residue on the model, and it also gives you a smooth transition between the different colors when used correctly. To achieve that, I tried to spray the RLM81 at a 90-degree angle to the surface. That kind of worked, but I still need to practice a bit. Here you can also see how easy it is to remove the Patafix again. The result was okay, but as I said, in my opinion the RLM colors of MO seem a bit oversaturated to me. Anyway, now was the time to paint more details. I started by masking off the engine section to paint it red. Same on the underside. Then I used metallic paint for the engine exhausts. When the painting was done, I started applying the decals. I won't go into details, so if you need help with decal application, just check out my tutorial video. To create more depth and shadows, I applied a wash to the panel lines. I removed the excess with a paper towel, but the effect was still quite prominent. More weathering was added using Tamiya Weathering Master at the engine exhausts. I just brushed on burnt red and oil stain and was quite happy with the result. Then I removed the masking tape from the canopy. That worked well, but as expected, the details in the cockpit are barely visible. Last but not least, I scratch built a pitot tube and antenna from thin wire. Only 3 prototypes of the Horten 229 were built, but to me it's such a fascinating plane that I just had to build one. This model depicts a fictional Horten operating in 1946. It was quite easy to put together, and the details are sufficient for this small scale. Therefore I can clearly recommend Brengun's kit. As you can see, my 229 is a part of a little diorama. If you want to see more about that, subscribe to my channel and check out the links in the description. Also, I would like to hear your feedback on the Horten, so feel free to leave a comment or two. Thank you all for watching and have a nice day. Bye!